All right. We are officially live and on the air. I have Larry Sahill here with me, and he is going to be giving us a little bit of insight on the sheriff's election. All right. So, Larry,
Yep.
you with us today? Larry, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Larry. So far, a couple of things to talk about today. The first thing is there's been some information coming to light. You've been talking
Yeah,
to Eric Watson, the
right.
HR department at the sheriff's department.
Yep.
Also got some enlightening information about the budget. So let's get started about the turnover rate. What have you been able to find out?
Well, I was at the Lawson rally on Saturday, and I was informed in the last 3.5 years, 140 officers have quit the Bradley County Sheriff's Office. And from what the Lawson campaign says, they don't know why. They assume it's Eric Watson. Turns out the benefits package sucks at the Bradley County Sheriff's Office. And who's in charge of the Bradley County Sheriff's Office benefits package? It's not the sheriff, it's the county mayor. Starting pay at the Bradley County Sheriff's Office is $32,000 a year gross. That's before taxes, before benefits. Your health insurance is $800 a month. Meanwhile, in Polk County, they're making the same pay, and they're only charging $300 a month for health insurance. So where do you think all the cops are going? They got a family support too, you know. Oh, James?
Hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. So I think I finally got the sound issues worked out there because there was some issues going on with the microphones. But yeah, definitely want to get these issues resolved and try to figure out at the root of these issues and these rumors that are being spread. So I appreciate you looking into that. Also, I heard something today about $700,000 that was being returned back to the general fund by Eric Watson, and that was being denied by some of the Lawson.
Well, it turns out it was not in one lump sum. $700,000 over 3.5 years. In the 2014-2015 fiscal year, 21,155 was returned by either the sheriff's office or the jail, and $3,000 was, I'm not sure which one's which, but for some reason the jail and the sheriff's office are two different budgets. Make a long story short, over 3.5 years, $697,000 was returned, which basically is $700,000. So apparently, when I asked the question about the $700,000, the person I asked thought that somebody just wrote a check for $700,000. That wasn't the case. This is over a 3.5 year period, and if you add up all the numbers and the savings and differences, it comes out to $697,000. So wow. Eric Watson was right about that too.
Well, I've been hearing a lot of other things going on. Some information also came to light about a failed audit. Underneath Lawson's watch. Is that correct?
Yeah. While Steve Lawson was captain of the Drug Task Force, apparently they failed an audit there in 2012. Apparently a search warrant was not obtained, and they ended up returning the property to the defendant. And apparently an ADA under his stead spent over $4,000 in gas in his own personal car. No mileage, no nothing. And apparently the 10th Judicial District wrote him up for it.
Oh, wow.
That's not the kind of thing you want to see in somebody you want to take command of your county law enforcement.
Absolutely.
Now, you also note that you can go to the comptroller's office, to the website, and you'll notice that while Eric Watson has been sheriff, they've passed every audit. Yes, the jail has had some issues, but as far as the sheriff's office is concerned, the sheriff's office has passed every audit with flying colors.
Well, that's good to know. You mentioned something about a van. I heard somebody talking about that earlier when we were talking as well. Can you give us a little bit more information about that?
Back in the day, this is back when Dan Rawls started all his hype about this van. It had a few. The newest piece of equipment it had in it was a DVR, and it was a 1990s model van. I think next year, the next model year, the van would officially been an antique. I'm not sure who bought the van. Some guy said today he picked it out and they bought it from the CIA. Why the CIA would have a surveillance van in the United States is beyond me. But Eric Watson, when he took over from Jim Ruth and inherited that pile of junk that was in the backyard of the jail, he managed to get $20,000 for a dang near 20-year-old van with a bunch of analog equipment that nobody uses anymore. So, and the money from that van sale went straight into the general fund. I remember somebody mentioned that they thought Sheriff Watson stuck it in his pocket. No, the check was made out to Bradley County. So I don't know where they're getting that either.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of rumors that are just going around. And, I even heard one about the officers at the school where they weren't experienced enough. And, of course, Eric Watson responded to that and was sharing the fact that, in fact, one of the officers had 9 years experience with Bradley County. The other one had been there for over a year. Did a little video I saw in response to that. But also, I'm hearing some rumors about some inmates doing some work for the Bradley County landfill or the Bradley County. Maybe you can give me a little bit more information about that.
I heard a rumor. Now, this is just rumor that Tim Mason, he is running for 6th District Commissioner against Dan Rawls. He's also the deputy in charge of the guys at the chain gangs that clean up the trash on the highway. I heard a rumor. This is totally unconfirmed. All right, this is just a rumor. I heard from the Lawson campaign that Tim Mason has that chain gangs working around on Charlotte Peak's properties. Charlotte Peak is a commissioner from the 4th District, and she owns a bunch of property, rental property. She owns a bunch of duplexes and townhomes and stuff like that. She's a very successful contractor here in Bradley County, and the rumor is that they're going around cleaning up her properties. That's the rumor. Now, I can't confirm it. I don't actually believe it, but that's what I heard.
Well, maybe we can get some more information on that at a later time and get more clarification. But right now, it just seems like, to me, Lawson is just trying to run a dirty campaign. I don't really appreciate a lot of the rumors that he's been throwing out and the accusations, but yet every time Eric Watson has shared information, he's had information to back it up. I don't know how you feel about it, but I've never really cared for Lawson too much. I mean, I've watched over the last 12 years him try to run for elections. He's always run on the Democrat ticket. I think there was even a comment made a couple of years ago when he ran against Jim Ruth that he would never win because he was on a Democrat ticket. And lo and behold, this election, he turns around and he's on the Republican ticket. Well, what do you think about that?
That was the first thing I thought when I saw that he had switched to the Republican side. I knew as soon as he did, he was going to run. My biggest issue right now, and like I said before, I may have not have formed the question correctly when I asked my source about this $700,000. Now that I actually see the budget report that we talked about earlier, which actually broke down over 3.5 years, instead of being one lump sum, now it makes sense. But when I first brought it up, the the person I talked to said they didn't know nothing about those $700,000. And like I said, I probably asked the question in the wrong form, but it's right here in black and white. And I ran with it instead of going back to Eric and saying, hey, dude, you said you had 700 grand. Where is it? And he could have showed me this one piece of paper. I just ran with it. So that was my mistake. And I was telling Eric earlier, I feel like an almond farmer. You know how they pick almonds? They take a big tractor, they grab a hold of the almond tree, and they just shake it until all the almonds fall out. Well, in the last 48 hours, you wouldn't believe how many almonds have hit me in the head. All of them Lawson supporters. So I still haven't voted. And I'm not going to vote until I see the last almond fall. And who I'm voting for? Hey, it's anybody's guess, but I think you can guess. I can tell you right now for certain, the one certain vote I have is Gayla Miller. She's got my vote. They were talking about that and that guy Young. You know, if Gayla Miller was doing such a crappy job, every lawyer in the tri-state area would be screaming. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So, but I asked questions. They got answered with documentation. See, documentation. And all Lawson had was words. His wife come out there, and don't get me wrong, she's a nice lady. So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to go on hearsay, or do you want me to go with proof? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you can't deny, the proof that's been shown. These are actual court documents and budget documents. And I don't like the dirty politics and the accusations and the rumors spreading, the rumor mill. It's just basically a disinformation campaign against Eric Watson. And that's the same type of campaign that Lawson's always run. He's always, I remember he, made some accusations against Jimmy Smith and even Dan Gilley. Of course, some of the things that were coming out about Dan Gilley, I remember because, he was having some issues with his son, and also some of the other stories, which I can't validate, but from what I understand, that there was some drinking going on while in the vehicle. And he got pulled over by his own deputies, but you got a lot of these things that, some of them may be rumors, but some of them, people swear by, and it's nice to have some proof and evidence to show, this is the truth. This is what we got to go by.
Well, if I could quote a Lawson supporter, she said it's nice for people like Larry Seahill who have an opinion and are willing to look in different directions to find information. Well, I did what she asked, and I found more information. It may not be information that she wanted me to find, but I found it. So now what?
Well, that's the big thing. Nobody likes to face the truth. Nobody likes to, the truth always offends people because you have to make a decision once you're handed the truth. You've got to sit there and say, well, I may not like it, but it's the truth. And so there it is.
Well, and I hear all the time from all these deputies, don't get me wrong, 99% of the deputies I've met are cool as hell. But the other ones that have been fired, and they'll give you this song and dance about Eric Watson did this and Eric Watson did that, blah, 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 blah. You know what? I've been in management. My dad is in risk management and management, and I can tell you from experience, you fire somebody, you better be able to prove it. You're going to get your butt suit off.
Yeah.
So
that goes with any business. I did retail management for a while, and even done a little bit of working with some other people. Right now I work from home through a company out of California. But if you don't do what you're supposed to do, and people get offended too. I mean, when you take somebody's job away, regardless of whether it was right or wrong, you know, people get upset about that because you're taking away their livelihood, you're taking away their, you know, the ability to put food in their families' mouths, and so they're going to have a bad taste in their mouth about it, you know?
Yeah. Well, my dad worked for the federal government. Try firing a black female without getting sued. Good luck.
Well, yeah, of course, you start getting into that, and we might get protested. But we'll leave that one alone. At least I will. You can go on with that one. But yeah, I know.
Well, I'm just saying.
I know where you're getting at.
My dad fired a guy. They had him on video sleeping on duty. Had him on video, and the guy still sued.
Well, so people can sue for anything. You know, it's that old story about that robber that broke into that old lady's house that time, and then he broke his leg by falling through a sunroof. Right. And then turned around and sued the lady that he was breaking into her house and won. You know, or the McDonald's coffee, right? You got people that, you know, they order coffee, they spill it on themselves and get burnt, and then they want to sue McDonald's because the coffee was hot.
Well, it's just like the Eric's indictments. All of the Lawson supporters, that's all they keep bringing up is indictments, indictments, indictments. You know what? Indictments ain't jack. You can indict a ham sandwich, you word it right.
Oh, no. So, the mayor in Calhoun, he was indicted, and that case was dropped. You had the chief of police and one of the officers in Calhoun that was indicted and was charged, and they got off. And because they couldn't.
That's another thing that since you mentioned, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Mark Gibson, chief of police, Cleveland, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
You notice his endorsement does not say chief of police of Cleveland, Tennessee. He's not in uniform. He's not in uniform. It doesn't say chief of police. It just says Mark Gibson, which means the city of Cleveland does not endorse Steve Lawson. That's as far as I see it anyway.
Well, there's several officers. You know, Cleveland's had its own deal with their chiefs and interim.
Oh, yeah. I got the self-storage right behind me where the first one got busted. Remember that?
But, oh, yeah.
Yeah, a Barker Lounder and a bottle of Jim Beam. Woohoo, that's romantic.
Yeah, that's still, I can't understand that one. I mean, what girl really would actually go for that? I mean, I don't know. But it is what it is. But one of the officers was up in Calhoun, and matter of fact, the chief and one of the officers' wives was having some sort of a fling, and of course the Calhoun police had to investigate that, and I think they got into a big fight, and somebody broke one of the cameras and broke the SD card because they were taking pictures and recording everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. And then, you know, shortly after that, of course, the chief resigned. It was just basically mentioned in the papers as an altercation, you know, but it never went into too much detail. But yeah,
Cleveland actually had the gall to ask for his job back.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're kind of getting off track.
Yeah. So just bringing back to the current situation, I'm glad to see, you know, some of this stuff vindicates Eric Watson. I've always had respect for the man, and I hope he continues to do well. And
with the information I took with me, I'm not going to say false information. I'm going to say invalid information that I took with me to the Lawson rally. And when I told them what I was told, they were drooling, man. They were drooling. And now that I got this, that we just showed the budget, that changes the entire game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I see a lot more Lawson signs out there, it seems like, especially on the north end of Bradley County.
Well,
But
he's from Charleston, ain't he?
I'm not sure where he lives, but I've never actually looked into his actual address or anything. But he, I do see a lot more Lawson signs up in the northern side, but I really don't think Eric Watson has a lot to worry about. I think he'll do fine in the elections.
Biggest problem I see is voter turnout. There's 100,000 people in Bradley County. You'll be lucky if 10,000 vote.
Well, that's any election, especially if it's not a presidential election. You only get a small percentage of them that vote.
Yeah.
I wish that more people actually took the time to find out information, which I appreciate you actually taking the time to inform and inform yourself as well as informing us with the information that you've been able to find. But like Eric has always said, even in his videos, look it up.
Yeah. Matter of fact, he told me if you want to look up other reports, I think it's Tennessee Comptroller's Office, TennesseeComptroller.gov, something like that. I'm sure you can find it on Google.
Yeah. But yeah, you can go to the comptroller's office. You can go to the Tennessee State website, pull that up. It's like Tennessee.gov or something. Let me see. Yeah, go to www.tn.gov.
Right.
And you can just go right up to the little search and comptroller. Let's see. Maybe not. Making a liar out of me here.
There you go. It's worse than my dog.
All right. Let's see. Tennessee rules, residence, business, directory, department directory. So there's the department directory there. So here you can go to any one, anything that you're looking for information from the state of Tennessee. You can come here. Some of them may have links. Other ones will have addresses. There's the Ethics Commission address.
While we're looking at that, I wanted to tell you that when I had talked to Eric earlier this evening, and I asked him point blank, I said, did Lawson approach you to be captain of the CID, or did you approach him? Eric said he approached him. And they met at Zaxby's down there by the new Walmart. They had lunch. And Eric, being an elected official, wanted to know if Lawson could do the job, be captain of the CID, without Eric having to worry about him running against him in 2018. And Lawson said, no, I'm done. I just want to get back into law enforcement. I just want to get back into the Bradley County Sheriff's Office. So on Lawson's word, Eric hired him to be straight to command staff, captain of the CID. And we all know the rest.
Oh, yeah.
So.
But anyways, I guess I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. We'll get this video ready for you to post up, and hopefully it'll do some good.
All right, we'll find out. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Well, we appreciate you, man. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast. But you have a great night. And everybody out there, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Bye.